If you're an author or plan to be one, get excited because this podcast is for you. Book Marketing Mentors is the only podcast dedicated to helping you successfully market and sell your book. If you're ready for empowering conversations with successful marketing mavens, then grab a coffee or tea and listen in to your host, international best-selling author Susan Friedman.
Listeners, I'm excited to share some good news. Podcast Connections is our brand new episode sponsor. If you feel your book deserves more reach but visibility hasn't come easily, podcast guesting can open the right doors. The team at Podcast Connections gets you in front of the audiences who need your message and your expertise. If podcast guesting is something you're interested in, please contact them at podcastconnections.co and tell them you heard about them on the Book Marketing Mentors podcast. And now, let's get on with the show. Welcome to Book Marketing Mentors, the weekly podcast where you learn proven strategies, tools, ideas, and tips from the masters. Every week, I introduce you to a marketing master who will share their expertise to help you market and sell more books. Today, my special guest is Ahmed Kamel. Ahmed is a technology entrepreneur and AI innovator with more than 20 years of experience building software companies and AI-powered platforms. He co-founded UXL Technology, a global software company that achieved a 9-figure valuation and now leads Sinai AI, an AI native platform for authors and publishers. Ahmed brings a unique perspective on how artificial intelligence is transforming publishing, content creation, and thought leadership. Originally from Egypt and now living in San Jose, California, Ahmed, it's an absolute pleasure to welcome you to the show, and thank you for being this week's guest expert and mentor.
Thank you so much, Susan, for having me. It's a pleasure to join you today on today's podcast. Thank you so much.
Well, I am very excited to talk to you. You and I have spent several months discussing the project that you're very involved in at Sinai, and it's all about the future of the book business. And since the evolution of AI, things have changed dramatically, and they're changing by the minute. Let's talk about what are some of the biggest changes that you see coming to books that most authors are not seeing yet?
Since the AI came in our lives, since the latest revolution happened, it sparked the opportunity to introduce a whole new book experiences that we have never expected to see before. Think about this. A book format that you can listen to, single book format that you can listen to, read it in up to 50 languages with a world-class translation. A book that you can talk to, argue with the author, ask questions, and basically summarize the points that you are looking for in any way you want, in any length, in any language. The ability to extract maybe something to listen to it at your free time. It's a whole new level of experiences where we can assume we are talking to a living object, a living book, other than the static formats that started to lose readers in the past. It's a whole new experience. I love to say that it's kind of a way to redefine books than the old definition that we had before. What is the old definition? There's a book called How to Read a Book, was written in the 40s. It described a book as a classroom without an instructor. If we will redefine book in the AI era, I believe the new definition will be the book will be a classroom with a 24/7 instructor, someone who lives inside this book, who help you to listen to it, read it in multiple languages, as I said, talk to it, ask questions, and engage with the book even more.
Oh, that's so exciting. I mean, I know you've been working on this for many, many months and even years now. Talk to us more about then the reader experience. That, yes, they can listen to the book in many languages. They can get summaries of the book. As you say, it's classroom that they can open, be in any time of the day or night. Now, you and I talked a little bit before we went on the air about different personas. Talk to us more about those and what that's all about.
With such experiences, you can have with such book format, we can help 4 main different personas to engage more with the books and the reading experience, starting with what we call the knowledge architect, someone who will want to read multiple books, but they don't have time to do so. So with such book format, they will be able to navigate through different books in a non-linear way and have the ability to manage their time around reading all these multiple books. The second persona are people with ADHD, people who have problems with attention. With this ability to just focus on what matters the most, they will have the opportunity to get exactly what they are looking for and navigate through the books in a more easy way. The third persona is people with language barriers, people who, for example, English is their second language. What if they want to read an English book, but in their mother language, the whole book, or maybe generate a summary with their native language, or maybe discuss or talk to the book assistant in their native language. So again, this will help this persona so much so they can be more comfortable reading these books. One of the things also that we also introduced as a solution for people with language barriers is adaptive translation. What if I need to change, for example, measurements in one book from imperial to metric, or maybe change the currencies, or maybe change dates? Again, this will help people with culture and language barriers. The last persona we are focusing on is people who are looking for convenience, jumping between different platforms such as Audible, Kindle, or other bring your own content platform for AI stuff like ChatGPT, Gemini, Google Notebook OM. It's just not convenient for them, especially they need to subscribe in each one of these systems. What we offer here is a single platform, for example, where they can have all experiences of reading and listening and talking under a one platform. So convenience is one of also things that we offer in our platform. Yeah.
That in and of itself is very exciting. I mean, these personas are not necessarily something that an author would think about automatically. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily thought about how a person with attention disorder has
Yeah.
problems with reading a book or listening to a book, let's say. And then, of course, as you mentioned, English as a second language. Oh my goodness, yes. Here the book is in English and they're struggling with that, but having it translated automatically into Spanish or Japanese or French or Arabic, how
Yeah.
absolutely amazing.
Absolutely. And one of the even experiences that we are in communicating with publishers and authors. When we spoke with some of the authors about such experiences, we encouraged them actually to talk to their reader community and told them to reread their books again. Because now with such abilities, you will have the opportunity to uncover maybe hidden, things that they didn't know about unless they have the assistant, answering certain questions about this part, or maybe more explanation about other parts, maybe in their native language. So reread even their books will enable these readers to understand, comprehend their books more, and then they will be happy to share such takeaways and learnings to other people who would be interested also to read their books. Absolutely. It's just opened the door for new markets, new readers, and new experiences.
Now, currently you're focusing on nonfiction, is that correct?
That's correct. We are starting with nonfiction as a starting point, but down the road we will offer a fiction experience. But we started to understand also the difference between the nonfiction reader expectations and the fiction reader expectations. So for nonfiction, people are looking for interaction, engagement, and maybe summarizing, deep diving on the topic itself. But when it comes to fiction, it's more about immersion. They want to immerse themselves with these stories and try to live these worlds. The type of experiences that we started to look at for fiction, it's more around, adaptations for fiction visually, like in audio formats, like audio play with multi-character narrations and sound effects being generated for you so you can immerse yourself with the story more. Adaptations like animated adaptations for moments or even for the full narrative of the whole story as an animation or video adaptation. This is the vision when it comes to fiction, but this is what we are going to release after releasing the nonfiction product.
And also, we talked about the fact that this platform is going to have textbooks as well. Is that correct? Talk to us more about that.
Absolutely. One of the major applications for our solution is the educational, applications and even services we offer is the ability to generate workbooks, quiz books from the book itself, where you can define even the number of questions, the difficulty levels, and the type of the questions that you want to generate so you can test your knowledge. Since we started to work on that side, it took the attention actually of many educational institutions and textbooks publishers as well. We started also to do certain partnerships with textbooks publishers and also K-12 also publishers. And the goal is to basically offer new services and offerings for educational institutions, universities, and down the road for also enterprises who are looking to offer their employees or a workforce tool for knowledge development. So it's on different fronts, very promising, and there's some excitement we can see from these educational institutions and publishers as well.
We've been focusing on what the reader can do. Now, since most of our listeners are not only readers, but the authors of the books, how can an author get involved with this platform?
Absolutely. Our website, Sinai AI, they can go to partnerships and they can fill the form for partnering with us, stating, all the information needed. We will reach out to authors and connect back to them. Once we agreed all the terms, they need to sign a license agreement where we can get their book remastered to our book format and make it available on our platform. And from day one, it will be immediately available in different markets around the world with all the experiences I just explained. So this is for authors.
And what about the compensation? How does that work?
One of the main advantages of our platform is that we give a significant revenue share for publishers and authors, not only from the direct book sales, which we also guarantee, but there is even an additional revenue stream coming from the book content engagement. So the more people engage with the author or publisher books, the bigger is the return. So it's significant and above all the existing publishers' current percentages. So I can say we are dealing with a higher percentage other than, the other vendors or platforms. This is guaranteed. And on top of this, you have additional revenue streams coming back to you over time for engagement with not only your original work, reading or listening, but also with the derivative works. I mean, like the things that you generate, like users generate out of your content. This is when it comes to compensation for publishers and authors.
Let's say an author wanted a workbook or creates a workbook as a result of their nonfiction book. Is that something that they would have separately, or would that be something that would be created through the Sinai platform?
It will be created within Sinai platform. It will be within Sinai platform. And once it's being created, we will count this as an engagement points, and we collect these points. We will calculate in a pro rata basis this percentage of engagement, and it will count with additional royalties paid back to publishers and authors as well.
It's definitely a win-win situation, it sounds like.
Yes, on
So,
all fronts.
on
Yeah.
all fronts. So now the reader, how does the reader get involved? Are they paying for this? What's happening in terms of their experience if they want to buy a copy of my book, for instance?
It's very straightforward in the platform. They can sign up on Sinai AI, where we give, after signing a 1 month trial, they have access to public domain books, unlimited access to public domain books. But when it comes to private domain books, they will get a 1 credit they can redeem for a private domain books. And as they subscribe every month, they will get an additional credit where they can redeem. Also, there is a way to top up for more credits, and every single credit is equal to 1 book. And credits is only for the private domain books. Under the subscription, all readers will have the opportunity to read unlimited public domain books with all the AI functionality that I just explained. So they can read, listen, and engage with the public domain books available under their subscription.
So the more that they interact with a book, so that they get a summary or they have it translated or they have the workbook, all of that interaction is to the benefit of the author, correct? So that's
Correct.
how they
100%.
accumulate. They can earn more money that way.
They can earn more money this way. And even we guarantee a certain level of royalty after each book sale. So they don't feel they need to wait for engagement to happen to get what they usually got from other platforms. So we give them the guaranteed percentage. And on top of this is the additional percentage they can get from the engagement with the book.
And then the author would know how many copies of the book were sold or were read.
Absolutely. This is one of the main advantages of our platform, where first of all, publishers or authors, they will have a portal where they can sign in and check out all the book sales happened for their titles. But more than that, they will not only get sales intelligence and data, but they will get reading insights. So they will understand, and again, everything will be masked, so there is no any personal information shared, but they will understand who read this chapter or how many people read this specific chapter, what kind of topics they were asking about in general, who listened to this part, who navigated or flipped or skipped this part. So it's a lot of reading intelligence, because for a long time, books industry is basically talking to ghosts, that we don't understand who are reading the book itself or how they are reading it. I believe with such intelligence, authors and publishers will have a better understanding on how the book itself is read. They will have the opportunity also to maybe push some extras or content to the book page that, again, could enrich the reading experience down the road. There's a lot of dynamics where this data and insights will help readers and authors and publishers to understand their readers better and to plan for their next titles or campaigns in a better way.
Would they also have access to the reader? Would they be able to get an email address so that they could add that to their database? I mean, because again, like you said, often it's like ghosting. They don't know who's reading the book. They don't have any access to that reader. So what's the opportunity through Sinai?
We will not share emails because emails itself is personal information that we need to keep. But this idea of reaching out to readers in general, it could happen through the platform without showing the exact emails. So like send this maybe notification for people who read chapter 4, or maybe this extra for people who asked about this topic. So there is a channel to reach readers through the platform without exposing, personal information in a way. So this is just a starting point. But again, we are very keen to make this connection happen between authors and their reading communities. I believe down the road also, we will start introducing book clubs, experiences, connecting not only, now readers with their authors, but also readers, communities who are sharing more insights through these book clubs and circles. And we believe we can empower these circles even more by offering maybe AI as a moderator, or maybe things that would help for physical, even book club, engagements. A lot of ideas we can think of, but I believe we will help to enable these digital or physical reading experiences.
And with AI changing every minute almost, it seems like
Yeah.
you've got to be very nimble and stay on top of, and even in advance of looking at what's down the road. What's going through my mind, and I hope our listeners too, is how about the copyright? Where does that fall into this? Because authors are very protective of their work. So, what kind of guarantees there do they have through you?
I would love to give a hint about the history of this AI and books industry relation. So, since the latest advancement of AI happened in late 2023, many of these foundational AI models, unfortunately, they stole, all these content to try to train their models with. They have shown very bad intentions to books business by stealing their content, and technology companies basically they decided that it is innovation then regulation, unfortunately, but it just slowed down the adoption of AI within the books business. I mean, like, there's a lot of challenges happened from day one since AI came with publishing business. When we started to introduce our platform from day zero, we said we will take the rights first approach. And when I'm saying right first means we wouldn't do any of these AI experiences unless we get a full license from publishers to do all of these experiences or functionalities. So we started to develop what we called the AI rights scheme, where we told publishers we can build a new rights scheme where we ask for training rights, even though there are some workarounds on this. No, we didn't try to do any fair use rights or workarounds to get around this. We believe publishers should benefit even more in the AI era. We spoke about training rights, we spoke about transformative rights, we spoke about reference rights, and tried to develop a contractual terms and clauses that cover all of these rights expectations in very detailed way. And we started to develop this with the help of publishers. So we understand what the concerns are. We started to understand what they are looking for. We started to educate them even, on certain new technologies that they could benefit from. So it was a very mutual exercise between us and the publishers. And we ended up come up with a rights scheme that works for both parties. And luckily, we were able to sign with actually tens of publishers right now with full AI rights. And publishers were super happy with such agreements to the level that they were introducing us to other publishers. So I believe this should be the right way to bring AI to be a partner, not a parasite. And yes, it was a wise move from our side to take it from a legal right first approach, because anything behind it is just make it easier, simpler. And at the end, readers and consumers, they will have the ability to consume with full confidence and ability to understand that this is rewarding these authors and publishers with what they deserve.
I love that because it's the Wild West out there. So, this is
Yeah.
a great opportunity to just segue and remind listeners how they can find out more about this incredible program and how to potentially get involved with you. How can they do that, Ahmed?
They can visit www.sinai.ai. They will find a lot of information about the product itself. They can sign up, get a 1 month free trial. Also, for your listeners, I will be happy to share a promo code where they can redeem and get a one additional credit, or they can redeem it for any private book of their choice. They would enjoy now reading, listening, and talking to their books like never before.
Oh, fabulous. Well, thank you. That's very generous. And I'll put all that information into the show notes. And as you know, we always have our guests leave our listeners with a golden nugget, words of wisdom. What would you like to leave our listeners with?
I believe in this statement of books change lives, because it was my also case. I remember these few books that changed my life. And we would love to see more people read more books so their life will be changed and they can influence others to read and help them to change their lives. So we have a better world and to make the world a better place. So I would love to share this with everyone. And I hope with our mission statement, we say, we hope to have 1 billion readers personalize their reading and reward their authors. Hopefully we can achieve this mission.
Oh, what a great mission statement. I absolutely love it. Oh, this is it's exciting, and I'm just loving what you're all doing. And you and I have had lots of conversations, and I know we're going to have a lot more. Thank you so much again for sharing your wisdom. And listeners, you know the drill. If your book isn't selling the way you wanted or expected to, let's you and I jump on a quick call together to brainstorm ways to ramp up those sales, because you've invested a whole lot of time, money, and energy, and it's time you got the return you were hoping for. So go to bookmarketingbrainstorm.com to schedule your free call. And in the meantime, I hope this powerful interview sparks some ideas you can use to sell more books. Until next week, here's wishing you much book and author marketing success.